I'm here at CommonSpirit's corporate headquarters, located in Park Central in Phoenix, right across the street from St. Joe's. When we first got this job, we were going to remove carpet, paint walls, and change out light fixtures. That eventually evolved into the owners coming with the idea that they wanted a grand conference center to hold national conferences. So we got going on that, started demoing, laying out walls. And on one of our walks, we're kind of walking the space, getting a feel for it. And what the owner noticed is that there's these 3 large columns right in the middle of their new grand hall. And they came to us and said, we can't have these. Like, it's just not gonna have that feel. You're not gonna be able to make eye contact with the speaker. So we got to work right away. Some of the main things we had to consider is that these were structural columns. They were actually supporting the building. In addition, there was tons of existing overhead ductwork and things that were in our way. So when the client asked for us to remove the columns, I thought it can be done. If we have 4 months is kind of what we were thinking, we can get this done. It's a complex ask for us to do, but they told us that they only could push their conference 2 months and that they had to book it and it had to be done. So we were up to the challenge, but we knew we had to get going. We got our Vicon team out here. What they did was laser scan above ceiling just to see where everything was routed so we could coordinate. In addition, we actually excavated an existing footing so that we could get that information to the structural engineer. And with all this information we were able to feed to them, that helped the design team react quickly. We had to pour these large new footings for our structure. We put in new steel columns on each side of the columns that we were going to demo, and then we had to run these large transfer beams that would then span those columns, each of them weighing about 13,000 pounds. Once we got everything in place, we actually had work above to do. So we headed up to level 2 and we had to remove the floor on level 2. We had to cast the columns above in concrete and place jacks on top of our new steel beams. We actually had to jack up the building and then pour those jacks into concrete. And what that did was transferred the dead load of the concrete columns to our new steel beams and columns. And we demoed the columns. Everything went smooth. They came out great. And so it was really exciting for everybody. We had all the owners here kind of watching the process because it's really not something you do every day. Like, we had superintendents, we had local engineers who had never done this type of work on a concrete structure. Thankfully, the design team was out of New York, and in New York, this is something they do all the time. They have these old buildings and they're not gonna just knock them down. So when they remodel, they do this all the time. So they were a great help. I think the client was really happy with both our upfront approach of getting all the information, being collaborative, working together on a weekly basis to get to the end goal. And they're just blown away with the work we've done. We're able to really make the space what they wanted, and we didn't just settle for going, hey, deal with the columns, we can't do it. We were able to give them what they want, and they were really impressed. All around, I think it kind of fits Kitchell's personality because, we were put up to this task that seemed impossible, but we used all these tools we have at Kitchell to get to this end goal and accomplished it. And I think that's what Kitchell does great. We step up to the challenge.